teams are out there. They're going through weapons check. Uh, my guess is we're probably looking at about 5 minutes before they're ready to walk out. Do you want us to just sort of do a prep and a wrap? Sounds good. Oh, wait a minute. The Japanese team's not out. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, Jeff. They said 3 minutes. They're lining them up, so I guess we can get started. I got it. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the San Jose Convention Center for the San Jose World Cup. I'm here, Don Anthony, with Mr. Peter Bouchard.
Thank you very much.
Peter Bouchard is the president of the United States Fencing Coaches Association, a longtime foil fencer in his own right. He's been with the Directoire Technique all day.
I'm president of USA Fencing and a member of the executive committee. Just saw the beautiful San Jose Convention Center. We are in the third day of competition. This is the World Cup team final. Have the best teams in the world, and you're going to see the final four who made it through the end of today. So we're going to be looking at a number of the teams that will be qualifying for the Olympics. And the teams that you will be seeing today will be, first bout will be Italy and the USA, followed by Japan and France. So, Peter, what do you think of the day so far?
It's been very exciting. I love the team event because there are so much tension, and it's always so close, and there's a comeback, and they fall behind, and they come back. It's just really great and so exciting for everyone here.
Yeah, I think that, as far as the team event, it's been a lot of upsets. The U.S. team almost didn't make it to this round. They had a little bit of a problem with Ukraine.
In the first round.
First round, just to make it to the 8. And then we had, a major upset in the round of 8 with Japan knocking off number 1 seed Russia. In one of the most dramatic bouts you'll see in a long time with 43-43, run out of time. Yuki Ota is behind at least 3 touches with 20 seconds left to go. Goes into overtime, and he manages to pull that out within 2 seconds with a 1 light stop.
Hey, he did the same thing against the United States. He came from behind to win.
Yeah, we're getting come up. You heard his repertoire and resume. Mr. Garozza, you've heard, and the baby. Eduardo Lupieri, 22 years old, lefty, 2015 European champion, individual bronze, 2011 Youth Olympic champion, Bo Alex, and then World Night 16, finished 20th yesterday. You see the U.S. team coming out. You got Rayson Bolden leading out. Race is a 22-year-old lefty, 2015 World Cup champion. That's this year. He's best in the world over the season. 2013 Senior World Team medalist, World Gold Team. So you had Alexander Macialis, is 21 years old, righty, junior at Stanford. He's also took the silver medal in the World Champions this year. Coming out now, you've got the French team. We'll go into their bios a little deeper a little bit later. And also rounding out that team, you saw Miles Chamberlain-Watson, 25 years old, righty, Penn State grad. He was the 2013 world champion. You got Yuki Ota coming up first. Yuki Ota is the current world champion. He's been amazing, and that's Team Japan. You got Kente Chida on that team. These guys are solid, and they took out the U.S. team as well. I missed the French team, sorry about that. You got Mr. Lafort there, Mr. Cordeau, he finished third yesterday. You got Mr. Lupachot. Referee that you just saw raise his hand is Romanian, Florin Georgi. He's one of the best. Korean referee, also one of our elite. Alex Kuznetsov hails from Canada but lives here in the Bay Area. We've got a Polish referee, Romanian referee, and then as bringing up the end is one of our U.S. referees. We're going to come up with the bronze medal match at this point. And as far as team rankings, USA is ranked number 4th in the world. They will be seeing if they can move up by taking a bronze medal today. And they'll be fencing the Italian team, which is ranked number 2. They're the reigning world and Olympic champions, and they won gold last year in this event. Peter, any thoughts on what we're going to see now?
Well, I think it's great that they always have this ritual where they shake hands ahead of time and afterwards. I think it shows a lot of sportsmanship and everything. Now, when you talk about the Italian team, traditionally they've been dominant throughout the fencing history, and I think that it's going to be a very tough match for the United States. On the other hand, the United States has a former world champion on it, number 1 fencer from last season on it. Alexander Macialis is a junior and cadet world champion before, so they have a lot of experience. Our team does, and it's become mature as a team in the last few years. They were young kids the last Olympic, but this last 4 years, throughout the cycle, they've really come together and become a solid group. And they have been ranked #1 in the world in the recent past.
Yeah, and you mentioned Alexander Macialas, who's also a silver medalist from this year. Unfortunately, Garrett Meinhardt, who took the bronze medalist at the World Championships, was injured first bout of the individuals. Still managed to make the top 16
Yes,
with
he
a
did.
hamstring injury. So that just gives you the level of depth of this team. This is for both of these teams. It's part of the whole Olympic qualifying cycle. Will determine the ranking when they go into the Olympics, which is also very important from the standpoint of who do you pull. You don't want to pull a tough team early. That would be the last thing you want to do. Get an idea of the crowd here. The audience has been very good. We've had a lot of kids coming out. This is a rare opportunity for our youth to see this level of fencing. And not only do they get to see it, this is a very nice, intimate venue, so they're pretty up close in person. They've been getting a lot of autographs, and I think this is going to be very exciting. So first up, we've got Alexander Macialas, and he will be fencing Mr. Garozzo. Foil,
That was a touch. It was invalid on the invalid surface. He didn't quite manage to score against Alex. No touch awarded. This team event is a format. It goes to 45 touches, a maximum thereof.
With 3 minutes per round, and it's foil, so the target area is just the torso.
Again, off target. You can see this vests that they're wearing. That's the target area, or the surface which they must defend and hit on the other person.
See, Alex took the blade, but it's off target. So this is a right-of-way weapon for those of you not familiar with foil. Person who starts the attack has the right to finish. The referee is there to determine who has that right-of-way.
There's a couple of referees involved, which is nice. We have a video review referee, should there be a question.
So Team Italy draws first blood to get on the board.
I thought Alex misjudged the distance a little bit. He got a little close. He's so tall. One more time, attack from the left was off target, which means that no touch is awarded. Right now it stands at 1-0 for the Italian team. Off target again. So we're about halfway through the first period. So each encounter, if you will, each match between two fencers is a duration of 3 minutes of elapsed fencing time, or till one scores an interval of 5 touches. Right now, go ahead.
No, I was just saying Mr. Macialas didn't like the feel of his weapon, so he's changing his weapon. Continue, Peter. I'm sorry.
There we see a
Nice
feint to the
touch.
chest and over the top to the back of Alex. Alex bit on the feint and opened up his back.
And Garozzo is taking a 2-0 lead against Macialas.
Dani, e continua ad andare di
Marcialis
là.
gets his
Daniele,
first
guarda.
touch.
Non devi andare di qua, devi andare sopra
His first
alla
attack is parry,
schiena.
but he
E
was able
anche a
to
fianco.
wiggle a point in there and obstruct the counterattack from Garozzo with his weapon. Attack by Alex is off target. Tough to score in this weapon. A lot of arms and legs and heads in the way.
Yeah, well, you know, this weapon was literally derived from a court sword, and it's a light weapon, so for it to be effective, you had to hit a vital target area, heart, spleen, and, you know, it still keeps that tradition.
Well, to me, Alex is just a little too close. This smaller fencer was able to jump inside his distance. He scored directly to the chest there, and the Italians lead 3-1.
Well, a big part of it is really, I mean, it's not as though they haven't fenced each other before, but they still need to fill this out, understand, you know, what's working. He said that Giorgio Florin said that he was trying to take the blade, missed, and therefore lost his right of way.
So the attack by Garozzo scores, and they're up 4-1, Italy is.
Just saw a shot of the U.S. national coach, Greg Macialis, who's also the father of Alexander Macialis. And all of them are really, this is truly hometown for them. They live in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Attack is good. Alex tried to get out of the way with a counterattack, but he was not successful, and Italy goes up 5-1. And here comes our second interval between the world number one from last year, Race Imboden, against what some people consider to be the finest fencer of this era, Andrea Baldini. He's really a magnificent fencer.
Mr. Baldini has been the anchor for this team for many years. He and his teammate, Mr. Casara, who is missing. I'm not sure why he's not here, but they have teamed up to win a lot of medals.
One of the strength of the American team is that they come from different clubs with different coaches, and they fence differently, each one from another. And the Italians often fence similarly. I think it's difficult to beat our team for that reason.
So he says that Mr. Baldini took 2 prises of Ferris. They both took it at the same time, but then Baldini took it again, taking the blade, which would give him the right to finish.
So here they had body contact, which caused an automatic halt, and that's why no touch was scored. They're not allowed to.
And he's also received a yellow card for it.
That's right, because he caused it to avoid the touch.
Exactly. You cannot do actions just to keep from getting hit. You cannot block target with your arms, your mask. Running off the piece just to avoid a hit.
Baldini made the attack a little low to the leg, it looked like to me.
The shot previously, you saw Macialis with the gentleman next to him. Dan Kellner, who is Race Imboden's personal coach. And Race has finally found a little bit of his distance and scores.
I agree with the distance part. I thought he was really good against the smaller fencer and got away with the score. Race, Mr. Imboden initiated the attack, and Mr. Baldini searched for his blade, but Race managed to evade it and score the touch from a beautiful attack.
Takafer found the blade again. So he's found what's working. In this sport, it's so key to get some actions and get on the board, get your confidence up.
This is what we call a parry repose. That is, Race made an attack which was defended or parried by Mr. Baldini, and he chased him down with the repose and hit him. Same thing there.
Same thing again, different line, same result. Touch for the Mr. Baldini and the Italians. Nice counter thrust. Felt the Baldini coming in a little bit too close. Felt that tempo.
So they say fencing is 3 elements: speed, distance, and timing. I think Baldini has excellent timing, but
Race just didn't get his point on that time.
pretty good distance. They both have uncanny timing.
Nicely done. Attack no, repose no. Final repose, parry repose from Mr. Racing Bowden arrives.
Still a 3-touch deficit here. Baldini trying to close out his segment to make 10, and Race trying to catch up.
Yeah, there was a blade action in meeting. What they like to say is that Racing, or at least the Americans would like to say that the, as we're sitting right behind the Italian team's bench, so, and you can see it come in. Baldini's going to attack and see if there's any blade contact. They're saying that he hit the leg first. And with that, Mr. Baldini comes back. Still a 4-touch deficit for the U.S. team.
So I think Race acquitted himself really, really well against a really fantastic fencer. And now it's up to our year ago world champion, Miles Chomley Watson.
Yeah, 2 years ago now.
Yeah, and he's so tall and long.
Very
really
long.
hard to hit.
He was fencing so well earlier today. The Japanese, the bout with Japan, he was in and out, but earlier he was just consistently using this great length, and he also has a very nice feel of tempo.
Indeed. Attacked by Miles off target, and he bent his blade a little bit there.
As he says, oh, shoot.
So the regulation is that the blade must not be bent more than 1 centimeter, about half an inch at all, and clearly this one's not going to make it, so he's going to get a different one.
They're calling the armorer over, see if they can do something about the blade, I guess. See the coaches, Dan Kellner, trying to construct somebody to say this is what you have, where you have to take the blade.
And after he stopped the attack by the Italian, he's able to to start an attack and land it. So
Attack
Miles
no,
scores.
repose, good.
So he said timing and speed. This speed is a little slower. So his time, he sort of created the timing with slowing down the speed a little bit. Even though he's fantastically fast when he wants to be, he's also able to regulate his speed.
Yeah, he's made some actually beautiful, very slow, long touches. This time, Mr. Avola is able to just pick up the pace and the tempo.
I agree, he accelerated beautifully there.
Yeah.
Dai, dai, John,
Mr.
dai.
Avola makes a counter post that's off target. He's sort of holding Miles off with a straight line, trying to put his point in front and intimidate him.
Yeah, keeps the distance. He doesn't want Miles, to get any closer.
That's for sure. And Miles wants to parry that.
Another off target for Miles.
I was wondering if the electronic is misfunctioning.
Yeah, they're checking the blades to make sure that the lights aren't going off unnecessarily.
Bravo, John. Bravo,
Another
bravo,
direct
bravo.
attack for Mr. Avola. He's doing a nice job. He starts a little bit slow and then he accelerates right at the right time. Nice one. Miles doing what he does so well, lets him come in, is able to go. He tries to take the blade, doesn't even get to it, but he's still so long, he's able to make the counter thrust. Avola is unable to catch him, can't close that much distance that quick.
So I thought he used speed going backwards and distance right there. Beautiful, Miles. He's trying to sucker him into attacking so he can do the same thing. There it was.
That's exactly what he was able to do. So set that up very
Dai, John,
nicely.
go.
And thing about doing that is he gets close enough so that Avola thinks he can hit him, and then he just pulls the distance, and he can still hit him.
So here we have our first video challenge, as they say. They're going to go back to the referees and consult with a video replay.
And this video replay, they're going to be looking for, you can see the action here. Miles has his blade up, he's coming in. He says, beat and attack. He says, one action. I take the blade and I hit.
And the referee initially said he hesitated.
And the call changes. Now, the problem with that is you only get one challenge per encounter. And so that means he has no more video challenges
In this 5 touch.
in this 5 touches, in this encounter.
He sort of picked up the speed here. Because he hit him across the knuckles a little bit.
Yeah,
Once again, sportsmanship.
on the hand.
It was total accident. There's
Miles
no
was
way.
trying to take the blade, and you see that fast attempt to take the blade, and ended up hitting hand instead of blade. So. Wow. He just slipped it, let him get close, and he managed to just keep his point out there long enough for really Mr. Avola to impale himself on it.
I agree with that. He, instead of pulling distance and running away, he actually stepped inside, which was totally unexpected. And as you say, he managed to impale himself on Miles's point, even though his arm was bent. He came straight into it.
That was the thing that was nice about that. This Korean referee has been calling this action often.
Well, what they say in fencing is if a referee is consistent, you have to adapt your fencing to fit the referee.
Yeah.
Miles, a beautiful sort of false coming forward, waving the blade a little bit with the bent arm and throwing it out there with his enormously long arms.
Yep. Right distance, right time, right tempo.
So this encounter goes to 15. Hopefully Miles can sneak up a few more touches. Cut that deficit.
So Miles was attempting to take the blade and hit. They want to say it's the prise affair from Miles' side. Let's see if we're going to get. All right, so
Miles won that battle.
he got that battle, which was correct.
Yeah, you can
Well,
see that he takes with the weak of the blade, boom, over
he
the
pulled
top.
it up as he's coming in. So it's parry repost, and that's what Miles is showing me. I blocked that. I blocked your blade.
That's Miles' too.
And now Avola doesn't really know what distance Miles is going to attack.
Exactly. He tried to close distance, and Miles shortened up his arm and hit him. It was wonderful.
Yeah. This is where, a man his size who can do both. He's got the long game, he's got the short game.
And he's fast or he's slow. He's pretty remarkable, and no wonder he is world champion.
Yes, when Miles is fencing, as we say, the big Miles and the little Miles, when he's fencing with his full length and the full physicality that he has, he's a very dominant fencer.
No, what?
I say hard, I'm scared.
No.
So the referee is saying that touch came after the halt, after they had passed.
Halt. After he said halt and passed. The problem with this is the rules say that you're allowed to get your repost. But he called the halt because he was already off the strip.
So the Italians are arguing that Mr. Avola parried the blade and hit him out in the back after he had passed, and the referee is insisting that that's not what happened.
Because if he hadn't said halt, you're allowed to make your repost, even after you pass. But he'd already said this one's not going to happen.
And he tried to pull a distance, didn't work. And they let the time run out before the full 15 was scored. So our next segment will go to 20 touches. And so the Americans are trying to score 7 before the Italians score 6.
And the Italian is, Miles is saying, hey, look, he'd already said halt, so I stopped. If he hadn't said halt, I would still be I would have blocked that action.
That's right. So you have to give Miles a lot of credit here. He's cut the deficit to only 1 touch, and it had been 4. So that was quite a successful segment for the Americans.
Very, very good segment. And every little touch helps. You want to try to get, a lot stronger and a lot better on that. There you go. See him looking. Oh, Race just impales. The question is, what was Mr. Garoza really making an attack? Was it a valid attack? And if they say it was one continuous attack, it will be Mr. Garoza's. It'll be the counter thrust. Now, if they say it's not,
he can't call it.
He says that neither one of them had time, so no touch at all.
That was the doubt, and it was determined that it couldn't be called. The referee says the Italian started first, and Race asked for a replay, so we're going back to the video camera.
And no slow, and stop, attack.
What they're saying, and Race has had a challenge with that, is they're saying Race stops. Oh, they change, and now Race gets it. He says, so in this one they say Garoza starts first, he stops, and Race gets the right to make the final action.
This means that he retains the challenge, so he's able to make another challenge if his challenge is upheld.
This time the attack is coming from the Italian.
It was slow but continuous, and it lands.
Right. Long as you start and you do not stop, especially in foil, you have lots of time to finish your action. Nicely done. That time Race is able to step in. Not only does he hit him, then he's able to close him out. Makes it a one-light touch and ties it up. Nice. Able to do it again.
Daniele, non andare dietro, sopra. Ed entra col ferro il finale.
So the Americans have taken their first lead.
Yeah. Took him to the corners.
That time Race missed.
Yeah.
Le volte si è fermato.
Well, that's the nice thing about being at this level of competition.
Bravo Dani.
That means the parry that proposed is invalid. There was no touch because it was off target on the hit.
Yep, so still gets the attack.
It's slow and continuous, and Race bites on it and jumps inside of it, but Carrozzo is able to finish and get the touch.
Well, it really depends on if it's slow and continuous, and he says it was slow and continuous. Race has had a challenge, especially with this referee, all day on getting a continuous attack.
So you saw the Italian had his blade off to the side, and Race is able to jump inside and make him miss flat and get a touch on the counterattack.
That's one of the advantages of being a lefty.
That's true.
If he can keep his blade on the inside of it, it leaves very little target area for the Italian to find.
So I thought the Italian was forcing the close distance, and he was successful in avoiding the touch.
That's always an advantage of the smaller fencer. Usually they are very good at that close infighting. Takes the height advantage away from the taller, longer opponent.
He's trying to get him to bite again. And he did.
And it looks like Barrasso was not really attacking.
I thought he hesitated. He made that little stutter step.
Right, he said, that's exactly it. He was stopped, and you could see he was looking for it.
Exactly. So Race waited long enough that time. And Race goes back ahead by 2 touches now.
Abel, once again, stepping in.
There's a little malfunction. What's called a mask cord has come undone. He's putting it back on. We're going to go on.
That mask cord is what keeps that lower part of the bib so that it's still part of the target area. Without that, you're trying to hit it, it will not go off. It'll be off target.
So Race made an attack that was considered valid, but he missed.
Got to put your point on in this weapon. This is the hardest part of it. He got the tempo again, but he still couldn't get the point on the target.
It's tough. A lot of arms, a lot of heads in the way. Doing that hide the blade technique again.
This time
He was successful at that.
Yeah.
So if Race can't intercept his blade because it's hidden, or that is to say back and not available.
And it's also on the side where he wants the blade to be.
And so the referee, by his own volition, is going to look at the replay because he couldn't quite tell what happened.
I am not sure what happened either. As he's looking at it.
I didn't hear any blade contact. Someone tried to parry with their wrist or something, and I couldn't quite tell.
Together. Oh.
Somebody. They both missed. They both hit. I can't tell.
Yeah.
He can't either. Oh, wait. Yes, he can. He gave it to Race.
They gave him the parry repost. They said it was a continuous parry repost.
So that was quite a successful segment for the Americans. And going into segment number 5, the Americans are ahead. And now the Italian coach has been given a yellow card. That means he committed a violation somehow, either an insult to the referee or too much protest.
Too much protest, too much talking. As you see him there, he's like, hey, come on, what am I supposed to do?
So the whole team has to sit behind this barrier here on each side. And you can see the Italian coach, he's looking at the referee, still trying to talk to him with his hand in front of his mouth.
And the thing about it is, not the best person. I mean, Mr. Florin, Georgie is, he's literally considered the best in the world right now in foil. Has the confidence of the fencers and most of the coaches.
Well, there's a long and rich tradition of protest in the Italian fencing coaching.
I thought they were spelled the same.
I think you're right. Ooh, parry repost. Off target.
Now, this is interesting. They're up against Avalo again. We've seen what works with him. We'll see and Alexander's going to try to work the same type of actions.
He had a nice parry repost to the top of the target, right there on top of the shoulder. Al's kind of got a bouncing technique in his footwork. Unlike the Italians, they're all sort of light on their feet, tiny little steps.
Alexander coming out of, Alexander Macialis, the new Macialis school.
Well, his father is the most successful coach the United States has ever produced. Now, we've had very successful coaches that come over and start being trained in a foreign country, but his father is all U.S.
Yeah, and the first one before him, I would say, would have been Bucky Leach.
That's true, in the women's side, that's right.
Yeah, and we do need to say the men's side. Able to carry repost again.
So I think the Americans have a significant lead here.
Not significant enough. It's sort of.
I agree with that.
It's sort of like the NBA with a team that can shoot a bunch of threes. A 15-point lead can be evaporated in no time.
He's off target again. On the leg, it looked like to me.
Yep. This time the first attack was not correct, but he took it again and he did it in the right time. He gets the touch. Reprise.
Alex making the blade not available, waiting to Perry Rufus. He lets him reach out and grab the blade and go, which he just did very nicely.
You know, the advantage of somebody, Alexander Macialis' size doing that is if that blade's not there, it's hard for you to really judge the distance that he can strike you in.
Gregory is very low, kind of doesn't look that tall. When you're across from him, by golly, he's pretty darn big. Not like Miles.
No, but he's long.
Oh, Perry reposted, gave it to Alexander. And now a 6-point gap.
Closed it out. Yep.
Speaking of Miles.
So far, it's been a very nice, balanced attack from the standpoint of being able to, you know, Alexander, Grace, and Miles have all had very good encounters. Outside of a little slow start at the beginning, now you're starting to see all of them being very strong.
Here comes the wily veteran, Andrea Baldini. He's got a lot of tactics. He's sly as a fox and a great technician. And there we see Miles.
Takes the blade. And final boom. And you see how he had, look at the angle position of his blade was behind, angled, excellent, and controlling a point. As hard as it is to do that. That's
flexibility of the wrist right there.
Yeah. Excellent control. Now, Baldini is very used to fencing, very tall fencing.
Didn't quite reach that time.
No. His teammate, Andre Casara, not quite as tall as Miles, but he's
a
pretty
lot
long.
bigger, that's for sure.
Yep.
But not here. That tiny little steps Baldini has.
Miles is such nice, tight distance right now.
When he's on, just as you say. They had good distance. We got hit in the arm, clipped on the arm there.
Yeah. I will say that there's no shortage of world champions and Olympic champions in this field today. Wow.
A remise.
Nice touch. Yeah. First one, no. The remise in split second time catches him coming in.
And we see distance, timing, and speed all combined to result in a one-light touch. No doubt about it.
Baldini looks over to his coach, say, okay, now what am I supposed to do about that one? So what he's trying to say now is, Baldini's trying to say that Miles displaced, covered, did something to make sure that his target was not available.
That was a clear counter parry repost by Miles to me.
You see him come in. He's going to make the attack. Miles
takes the blade.
He took it twice.
Yep. Baldini missed the first time.
He missed. That's exactly what Florence
said. Exactly. Now Miles is using the point in the line to intimidate.
Wow. He's using the point in line to intimidate, but then he's coming back and making a parry repost off of it.
Yeah, he's got that lovely circular motion that just swats the blade out of the way and puts it in there. That's what is known as circular six parry. There it was again.
Wow. Against an old veteran like Baldini, but look, Baldini's now ranked 63rd in the world, and Miles Chamley Watson's ranked 11th. There's a reason for that.
There is a reason.
Who's the more current world champion? Miles Chamley Watson.
Absolutely right.
As long as they're fencing like he does it.
I thought Miles showed amazing speed in the last couple of touches. Just lightning
speed, light. Lightning Point. Get to see this one more time. See Miles taking it, and boom.
Pop it on the shoulder.
And took it all the way back to his shoulder, and then hit his opponent on, his front shoulder. That's very nicely done.
Look at the gap now. 11 touches. That's pretty darn good against an Italian team.
That's very good about an Italian team, but it's not time for the team to take a deep breath and a sigh of relief, because these guys can turn that around so daggone fast.
Keep it going.
Yep. And they've made a substitution. We've got a Walter Lupieri in now. Young fencer.
Lupieri's the baby as a team, as you say. He's got this style where he leans over and tries to sneak it in there. He's a low guard all the time.
When you think about it, you say he's the baby of this team. Well, Race is also 22.
That's right, huh?
And he's not even the baby of our team. Got a little bit too deep to be at the point back up on target that time.
I think Lupieri presents a lot of arm and head and leg. He really kind of obscures his target as he comes forward. It was very effective. So a halt's called because Race has dropped his weapon inadvertently.
Yep, lost control. And if you can't hit them within the time that the blade would normally hit the floor, they're hoping Lupieri can give a little spark. And he got a touch to try to get that going.
So Race came up high, and I think his point just missed because the guys leaned over and kind of obscuring his target, as I said.
Yeah. Well, they fenced off the other three guys. Now you put in someone who...
He doesn't know what happened.
And he's looking over at his coach, and his coach is like, there's one night you got hit. I guess that's... What are you going to say?
Wasn't by accident.
Nope. There's nothing you can do about it at this point. Wow. Another pretty touch.
So right in midair, he intercepted his blade and hit him before he even landed. That's how fast it was.
And because he did it so quickly, Lupieri couldn't even put the blade on.
Yeah,
no light.
No idea.
I like what they're doing. They're stepping in, they're making the repost, and then because they're so long, they're going with, the thrust and clearing the distance.
Oop, that was his attack all the way.
Except this time, instead of going back, he goes forward.
Yeah, we said that before. They'd like to change up the distance. Wonderful.
And unpredictable.
That time Lupieri intercepted the other blade, but he hit in the mask, I think. Yeah, it was right in the mask, I think. I thought it was right. Yeah, I thought it was right in the mask. So does Race.
Well, he pointed to the mask as soon as he asked.
Oh, I guess Lupieri's right. Race is trying to solve the problem with spit, and I think he did.
A little moisture there just to keep the connectivity. It's amazing what that can do in the electrical world.
It's faster than changing equipment.
Yep. Race just couldn't get that point on this
Still
time.
going off target. I think he's got to change his weapon.
Is it the weapon or the body cord?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Who knows?
They're going to try the weapon first.
So when the electric float is a continuous circuit, when it's broken for any reason, the white light goes on. And so apparently the foil had broken, and so now he's just changed the foil.
Nope.
Oopsie. I think you're right. I think it must be the body cord.
It's the body cord. So they can give him his weapon back. They're going to run out, and they're going to do the old attach a body cord, slip it through, because that body cord is actually running underneath his jacket. And to have to take the whole jacket off and put everything back on would be a very long process. This will take a little bit of time, but it's far more efficient and effective than the alternative.
Yeah, so the electronics work because they're wired to a spring-loaded reel, which is lets the cable out and draws it back. At the end of each side of the strip, each have one reel. And lickety-split, Race has, with the assistance of the referee, has got his body cord changed, and we're ready to roll.
Yep. And it's funny because a lot of times people will see the reel attachment thinking, is that a leash to keep the fencers from going off the other end of the strip? But it's all for the scoring part. And you know, it's designed so that you don't even feel that you're attacked. And that's exactly what Lupieri wanted. Anything to break Race's concentration.
I agree with that. It broke the momentum right there.
Broke his momentum. Race was about to just finish that off. He knew exactly how he was doing it.
Very repo.
Didn't break it enough for the Italians' benefit, but Race kept his concentration quite nicely.
I thought he took that blade and did the closing in and closing the distance on the smaller fencer again unexpectedly.
Very nicely done. And you can see it again. He takes the blade. He'll come in, setting it up, takes it, boom, buries it right into the stomach.
While deflecting the blade sideways, what's called an opposition.
An opposition. And, you know, when you think about the fact that these were, you know, weapons, that opposition was the difference in you actually taking a little bit of a flesh wound or not.
Indeed. So I've read a lot of literature about fencing, and I think the oldest book describes that touch as the parry that thrusts and the thrust that parries.
Okay.
It's the oldest move in fencing. Ooh, he popped it off his shoulder, but it was flat.
And it hurt.
Yep.
Oh, it went to the shoulder, but then it went down.
Went down, yeah.
So we got Miles, Chamley, Rotson, and Garazzo. This is the final set of encounters. So
the fencing machine down below the strip indicates the segment, and we're now in the 8th one. So we're going to 40 points.
Yep, and once again, it's first to 45. Miles is using his length. Just leaves the point out there, hits without being hit.
That's what you can do when you're as tall as Miles. He's got that blade again. So Miles makes his left arm way behind him, so he won't be called for obscuring a target with his unarmed with his invalid surface.
Yep. Back affair. Garazzo looks over at his coach. He says, "Vic, should I call for video?" He said, "Don't bother."
Nice counter riposte. Using that long distance. I think that the Italians might have lost a little heart now.
Yeah, they don't seem to have a lot of fight at this point. I think they feel like this is a hole they will not be able to dig out of.
38-21 is a big hole.
Yeah. Well, it's also a big hole when you have 3 guys fencing all as well as the U.S. team is right now.
And Miles acknowledges the touch that it was off target against
Well,
him.
yeah, acknowledge that it would have been his.
Miles able to find the blade and finish the attack, deflecting aside and hitting Mr. Garozzo. So this time Garozzo jumps inside the distance and makes Miles miss over the top.
And you hear Greg Macialis over there. Come on, Miles. Let's just don't get theatrical. Let's just finish this off. Basic. We don't want to let them get back into it.
I thought he was a little theatrical right that touch. He did a bunch of fancy stuff.
Miles is always a little theatrical.
I agree with you.
He's got a great video out right now.
So he's doing the head feint now, the body feints and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of having some fun, it looks like.
He was doing that earlier today so effectively. I mean, his whole energy was just, and it's so nice to see that when they're feeling it, just like that. He felt it, he knew it. Audience appreciates
his final activity for the day.
Well, we only have one left.
And Miles acquitted himself beautifully in that final segment.
Absolutely. Got the final action coming up with Alexander Macialis. He will be fencing the anchor for the Italian team for many years, Mr. Andre Baldini. And Baldini's pulled a lot of rabbits out of hats over his career for the Italians. I don't know if he's going to have one today, though.
Can he make that many touches up in only 3 minutes' time?
23 touches. That's a lot of touches.
So Alexander's been the anchor for the U.S. team all day, and I think for quite a long time.
For the last 3 years.
Yeah.
He was the anchor in London. And as you mentioned earlier, in London, it was, this team was very young. I mean, you think it was 3 years ago, Alexander was 18.
Right.
Miles was 22. I mean, and Garrick was, the oldest on the team. And I think he's 26 now. So it's still a very, young team. A lot of years ahead for these guys. But now they've really gone from being, sort of boys in London to, men.
So Baldini's first attack was short, and then Alexander initiated the attack, which hit, so he got the touch. But youth is kind of a tradition in the U.S. team right now. Baldini scores.
Yes.
Because even Garrick, who's absent from the team, as you referenced with a hamstring injury, in the previous Olympics, he had been the youngest male ever to represent the United States in the Olympics at age 16. So the U.S. likes youth.
Youth is a good thing. Youth and longevity. We like that.
That's right.
And Alexander slips that touch very nicely. It was definitely Baldini's attack, but not only did he not arrive with the attack, Alexander able to just completely take his blade out of the target.
Mr. Baldini also tested his weapon a little dubiously, but it functioned just fine. So it was Alexander's skill that made him miss.
Nice pair of reposts from Baldini.
A classic move by the old veteran. Thought Alexander stopped, thinking he'd hit, but he hadn't.
Baldini was saying, wait a minute, I thought I hit it on target. Alexander was more than willing to let him test. Baldini knows that it's true, not happy about it, not going to argue about it. Perry reposts.
I think Baldini is also a very gracious fencer. He's got a reputation like that, and for a long time, he's an old, good veteran, very gracious competitor. I really respect him. Baldini puts on another touch. Alexander only has 2 touches to close it out. And there's one.
And that's right. He's got 1 touch, 1 left. And the U.S. team will take a bronze medal. Well, that's not it.
Nope. Alexander was not able to stop the attack. He searched for the blade, but couldn't find it. And Baldini managed to put it on with a continuation and retain his right-of-way all the way through.
They hadn't awarded the touch on the score. He's like, give me my touch.
Work that hard, I want credit. Nope. He was able to evade with distance, a little hop back, and the attack stopped, and then he made a touch. And the final touch.
Nice thrust. And ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medal winners for the San Jose World Cup team competition will be the United States of America.
And here we see all the fencers shaking hands, their friends afterwards, sportsmanship displayed. There's U.S. coach Greg Macialis and his son Alexander. I think it's lovely to see that the U.S. came in ranked 4th, and now they made a bronze medal.
Yes, they moved up 1. Good day of changes. See that last action? Just stepped in. Baldini can't find him. And last touch, Baldini is able to hit there.
And the partisan crowd.
And the U.S. getting a round warm of appreciation from the home crowd. Next up, we'll be having the Japanese team fencing the French team. They'll be coming up in very shortly.
They're looking for the gold medal here in San Jose.
San Jose. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll be back as soon as the action comes.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm going to hit the head.
On va virer toutes les bouteilles, les gars.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, up next will be a gold medal match between the team from France and the team from China. Gold medal match here at San Jose at the Convention Center downtown. We just saw an exciting match between the U.S. and the Italian team, with the U.S. team coming out on top. For those of you who want to support USA Fencing as we go into this Olympic year, please text to 41444 to make a donation. Choose the text message, type that in, and type fencing in your message box, and then tap send. It'll take you to a hyperlink, and you can make a donation. Any amount is appreciated, from $1 to $1 million. We'll take it all. So thank you for all the support for those of you who've been here.
I'd like to point out, Don, that ours, the United States, is the only major country, and certainly the only one in the finals here, that doesn't have government support and a government-sponsored team.
So today we've got the Japanese team coming in as the 8th seed. They took out the Russian team, the number 1 seed. You've got the French team came in as the number 3 seed. They beat the Italian team, the number 2 seed. Got Yuki Oda on the right. He is the current reigning world champion. And he'll be fencing a very old veteran, Mr. Li Pashu. He held on to take the Italian team out a little bit earlier. Yuki Oda doing what he does so well, putting speed and timing together with a lot of grace and a lot of power. And once again, he's jumping on him very quickly. Explosive fencer.
Le Péchou has been a member of the French team for quite a few years. And he's the veteran anchor.
Yeah, he's 33 years old. And been around a while. He doesn't like the way that weapon feels, so he's going to switch it out. So Mr. Oda is currently ranked number 2 in the world. He's 29 years old, so he's a fairly solid veteran as well.
Now, as I recall, he was really good early, then sort of disappeared and came back and became world champion.
Yeah, well, he was 2008 Olympic silver medalist. So, you know, I mean, he's been there. He took a bronze here yesterday. Lost to James Williams from James Davis from Britain. Jumping on him again, takes the blade, coming in, prise de fer, lands the point. Another direct attack, or as Doris Willett said, almost direct attack yesterday in our broadcast.
It's just uncanny the way his distance is perfect. He's got so much acceleration, explosive speed.
And amazing balance. And both of these gentlemen have good infighting games.
Ooh, Le Péchou makes it.
Excellent. Oda wasn't able to get his point on that time. First time we've seen him miss.
Intercepts him as he comes forward, and Perry repos.
Perry repos amazingly quick. And Oda continues to be dominant. He has just been explosive in the match with the Russians. He did it. You can see the same kind of action. Took the blade, hit. Le Péchou is still moving. Doesn't even know his blade has been taken at that point. But in the Russian match, it was, I believe the Japanese team down was 3 touches when he came in, or they were down 3 at 20 seconds. Oda brought it back to tie it up at 43. Went into minute overtime, sudden death. Within 2 seconds, he hit him so quick, bout was over. That got them where they are now.
Let's remember the Russian team was ranked number 1 coming in.
Ranked number 1. They took out the U.S. team. Yuki Oda being the dominant factor in that. Score was 45-42. So now it's a question of how this French team. So we've got
Lefort on the left.
Lefort on the left. Enzo Lefort is a righty. He's 24 years old. He's ranked 22.
He's very strong. That's what I noticed about him all day.
Took the bronze medal last year in the individuals, and was really a big force in winning the team world championships in 2014.
So this member of the Japanese team I'm least familiar with, and I think Matsuyama might be.
Well, he's the baby.
Right, the baby, exactly.
Yeah, he's
Chida and Ota are seasoned veterans.
Seasoned
excellent
veterans. This is the, you always look as far as your team lineups where the weaknesses are. This is the guy to beat. He was very strong when he faced the U.S. team, though.
He sure was. I was very surprised.
Very, very solid. So, and he's currently ranked 90th in the world. Finished 31 here yesterday, so he's moving up as well.
It was a good weekend for him.
Yes.
And they made a nice attack against Lefort.
So with this lineup, it's up to Oda and Chida to make sure that they have big runs to open up the opportunity for the stronger fencers on the French team to not catch up too much distance. If he can just keep solid and hold his own, not give up too much, of their lead, he does his job.
He does the game kind of Technique. Take. Oh, that didn't work for him. I was going to say we saw Americans before take the blade several times in a row. Miles being the most notable practitioner of that. The attack is off target by Le Fort. As they move forward, always taking the blade and maintaining their right away.
Yeah.
There he goes again.
Matsuyama was hoping to be able to get that counter thrust and keep LaFour from even getting a point on.
Yeah, Matsuyama started first, I thought. Oh, LaFour doesn't agree. He wants the...
It's funny, they want the replay. No, it's not worth it.
So it's notable to realize that the Frenchman's name means the strong one. And
Yes.
he sure is strong. Ooh,
Yeah.
like a real strong Barry Repos
Just
right there.
took it hit.
LaFour makes Perry Repos and ties the score. So what you said earlier about finding the weakest link and trying to really exploit that, I think LaFour is doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. And at the same time, if Matsuyama can put on, 2 more touches, even if he loses this encounter, which he's looking like he will, it was still...
Oh, he reversed the decision. Didn't get the touch, so it's... There, it goes down to the score, right?
Right.
But so Matsuyama wants to do his job, just keep the gap, hold him off. LaFour trying to take advantage of the weaker fencer on their team.
Not let him go on a really big run.
Oh, he missed.
Yeah. Not only does he pulls out one. And that's what he was trying to do
He
before.
missed again.
Wants to step in.
Look at that. He's got that gap back.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And takes the pair of repos and holds the lead. Not only did he do his job of not letting the gap get too big, he held it. Nicely done.
Yeah, I think that's a significant juncture in this match. Now we have last year's individual champion, Jeremy Cadot, coming up against Cheetah.
See him take the point. Take it, take it, take it. Comes in, parry, and repos. Similar to what you were saying. Take, and then making something come off.
Exactly. So we have 2 good competitors here. Cheetah, veteran of a lot of years and very good competitor against last year's champion, Jeremy Cadot.
And he's a 2012 Olympic team silver medalist. So he's a vet. He's 30 years old. This is probably his last run. Big, important Olympics for him.
Did a lot of body feigning, but Cadot wasn't having any of it. He just finished.
Yeah, well, Cadot finished well. I mean, he was first last year, but he finished, took a bronze medal yesterday. So, he's having a pretty good weekend, too.
It sure is.
Uh-oh. That'll be interesting to see what they come out. It would be. Go ahead.
I was going to say that there's an interesting anecdote about Cadot. Oh, here we go with the.
So he's coming forward. He stops. He stops. You can see it. And he comes forward, and then he just stops. Not continuous.
Trying the same thing, but not stopping. Whoop, there he stopped.
Yeah, but that
Made
time
a reprise of
he
attack.
yeah. Unlike before when Cheetah came out,
Right.
he just let him keep coming. It looks like they both go for it.
They're both beat. Usually the attacker's given the precedence. on this.
Yes, exactly. That's the rule.
So I was going to say about Mr. Caddo, one lovely anecdote is that yesterday he took the bronze medal and
Let's see.
a little boy came up and asked
They
him
gave
for,
it to him.
asked him for his autograph, and he gave him his medal. He gave a little boy he'd never met before. He gave him his bronze medal from yesterday. I thought that was really lovely.
Wow.
Same time, no touch.
Simultaneous attacks, yeah. Yeah,
It was the same thing. There was
except
both
this
beat
time,
the blade.
Except this time it looks like a parry repost.
I agree. I thought Caddo stopped, frankly.
Well, or if he stopped, then it may not be a parry repost. If he was coming forward, then it looks like let's see. Yeah, he takes the blade.
Yeah,
Cadeau's
yeah.
coming forward. He takes a big blade action.
He had strong to weak.
Yeah.
That is to say that the
Well, that's
part of the blade, the strong part, down by the hand against the weak part way up by the point, so that the rules say that the defender gets it then. Ooh,
They reversed it.
yeah, he sure did. So it was a beat attack. After halt, no touch. So there's a core, that means body contact, and no touch awarded.
Nicely done.
So Cheetah makes an attack, and Caddo is able to go around it, like evade the blade with his body by turning.
And he's tied it up.
This time, the referee rules that Caddo kept a continuous attack, and the Japanese protest. And we're looking at a video again. Body
Caddo.
fate. Body fate. Did Caddo stop?
Yeah, they're giving that. They're just saying that even though his arm's back, it's still not.
Here comes the yellow card against Cheetah for
pushing the
causing
body.
body contact to avoid the touch.
And we've seen that 3-point lead. Oh, nice action. He went for the same action that he's been trying to take the blade. The blade wasn't there, but he still was able to put the point on. This time he's able to keep the distance in. He took the blade. Caddo was unable to respond. Got him their lead back up.
Oh, there's a parry.
Caddo ties it back up.
Oh, off target. He's celebrated a little too early there. And here comes Cheetah pressing the attack. Fade disengage off target. French coach said it was perfect, but it really wasn't since he got off target. And we have the same thing. The Prince of Fair, the take of the blade, both fencers.
And it's just interesting. How many that this could have been a very different outcome had he
They ruled against you.
Yeah, they had decided they didn't want to give those Prix de Ferris.
But as we said before, if they both take the blade, the attacker usually gets the benefit of the
And
doubt.
on all of those, Cadeau was coming forward.
That's right.
You know, as I say, the question on that is it a prise de fer or a parry repose? But they were calling it a prise de fer. You don't get it if you're not if you're on the defense.
And as we said in the previous encounter between the United States and Italy, if the referee's calling something, you got to adapt. He was consistent about it, so the other guy didn't adapt.
Well, here we have the true ends of the age spectrum. You got the veteran Mr. Lipashu at 33. You got Matsuyama at 18.
And Mr. Matsuyama intercepts the blade and makes a repost.
He's fencing it very, very well right now.
I'm impressed.
Well, that's the reason why they've been able to take out the #1 team and the #4 team today.
I agree. He's fencing it up above.
See him take the blade and hit.
Can't argue.
It's well executed action.
His head there. He's
Yeah.
really moving up.
See him take the blade and hit.
Can't argue.
It's well executed action.
Off target a little too low.
Yeah, he's explosive too.
So now the Japanese protest the prise de fer idea. To me, Lupescu found the weak of the blade on his strong. I would give parry repos.
Well, that's the question. Is it parry repos or is it prise de fer?
Exactly, as in the last bout.
So let's see. Well, we didn't get enough of it quite to be able to see where that blade hit on that one.
So these fencers train probably together a lot, and the various fencers on either team fence fairly alike. So that's why you're going to see that. Let's see, he's going to reverse the call. And give it to the Japanese.
That was one they changed, so.
Yep.
Goes up in the air, trying to come back down on the back.
Hit the mask.
Lipescu unable to get the point on. Once again, you know, it's almost at any time there's a blade encounter, they're favoring that part, and the referee agrees.
Parry repost for
Video back
Lupescu.
up. There you go.
And a tie score. Lupescu goes over the top of that lovely attack
Yeah,
and finishes.
he goes low, then comes high. And once again, you have two lefties fencing each other. We've had quite a bit of that. Sort of neutralizes some of that advantage that they have if they're working that outside.
And Ramiz.
Matsuyama is unable to get his point on.
He asked the referee to test the point. It's going to remark.
I think he just missed it. Personally.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. So if left-handers are 8% of the population, look how many lefties are in the elite fencing group.
Yes. Yep. Got 3 out of the 8 right here, lefties. Whoa, nicely done.
So while Lupescu was looking where to put the blade, Matsuyama simply made it what's called a remise, or just put it back on him.
Yep.
Oh, off balance. And by the way, that was exactly the same touch by Lupescu.
He just chased him down.
And put a remise on.
A little more effort in his remise.
That's true. That's true.
Whoa. Behind the back.
That was awesome. Behind the back.
Nicely done.
Tried to crowd the distance, and Matsuyama made up for it. Now the question is, did Matsuyama stop the attack and the other one go, or was it one continuous
Should have been
attack?
attack from the right. Looked like it was to me.
Sometimes the ruling is that when that foot
Look
lands,
at
the
that.
attack's over with.
Yeah.
And he gave the attack
Yeah.
just as you said.
Yeah.
Here we see a
You can
replay.
see it.
Did he ever stop? Not really.
No, he went up, low.
Yep.
It was a feint.
Boy, Lupescu's really trying to convince him, but
Oh, well, yeah, this is not going to be an easy. Every touch is going to count on this one.
no, they're back over looking at it some more. And the video referee, right. He still upheld his decision. So this referee is Ukrainian fellow representing Canada.
Lives
Alex
and lives here.
and lives in the Bear, and that's,
That's
right.
right.
There's an international guy,
Yeah.
and for an international
Canadian
sport.
national, and he's from Canadian national coach.
Yep.
Nice closeout. The Pashut just closed him out. Can't put a target on. France takes a one-touch lead.
Still, I think for their veteran leader to only get one touch up on the young fellas, it's pretty good job by
that's pretty.
Matsuyama.
That is extremely good for him. I mean, as we've seen, as long as the Japanese team is hanging around with Yuki Oda as
the anchor slot,
that is a dangerous position.
Speaking of whom, here he is, world champion.
World champion, point getting machine. He can run a lot of points very fast.
And it's he and last year's champion Kadu, and yesterday's bronze medalist. I think they both had bronze
That's
medalists.
right. They're the bronze medalists against bronze medalists. Of course, they did not get a chance to fence each other yesterday.
Here we are.
So this will be their first encounter.
Kado lands the first attack. And the second. And they're consulting the video on this one too. They're not sure either. Ota's talking to Kado. Oh no, you can have it. I'm not sure. These guys are so close. It's tough to differentiate.
No touch. Kado gets the attack.
Oda looked for the blade but didn't find it. Kado evaded his search there. He's reattaching that mass cord we referred to earlier.
Yep. Make sure that circuit is complete and that target area is available.
First attack misses, and Mr. Oda lands the counter attack.
Getting back on board is Henry Sassoon. Whoa. He took so much distance for Kado to avoid his blade being taken. He took it way off. Back repos. Well, that mass clip does not want to stay on Mr. Kado.
Oh, I think you said it best when you said a touch-making machine.
Yeah, well, he's not making as many touches as he's been able to do in most of his encounters. You can see him come forward, and Cadeau just makes the pair of repos, and that clip just flies off.
Oh, off target. He finished the attack, but a little off target. Then Cadeau parried, make off target repo. The same thing by Otai, parry repos off target. Oh, there's a parry repos. That's good.
On target. Closes that account. That is the first encounter I have not seen Ota dominate throughout the day.
Yeah, he's disappointed. You can see in his expression. Right there.
Yeah, well, they can't afford that unless, of course, you know, Cheetah can step up now. And
against the strong one.
See it again. Cadeau makes a big parry, no question about that, and just drives it right into his back shoulder.
So he parries way up high. It's what we call a preem parry or first parry, and straight down onto the target.
Yep. It's a big bout for Japan right here. Lafort and Cheetah. Got Lafort at 24. Cheetah's a veteran, but Lafort has been, just like his name, Lafort has been strong.
He finished there. Well,
just ran him down.
French pulling away a little bit.
Yeah.
Here comes a warning card, the yellow card. Against
He's like, yeah, okay, so I did it. I'll try not to do it again.
The coaches are saying, calm down, no problem. They're trying to keep him calm.
Well, he's still one of the young guys.
That was a preem parry repos by Cheetah. Right. We couldn't see it as clearly because his back's to us, but. Oh, behind the back, missed, and Remy. He tried it, but it didn't work.
Nope, not that time. Part of it's because Lafort's body was still in motion.
Yeah.
Wow, good redoublement.
That's right, it looked like he'd stopped, and by God, boom, redoublement.
Really good redoublement.
Well, 4-touch gap. He's doing what you said. He's trying to close it up.
Trying to close it up. And you never know how the matchups are going to end up.
Looks like his mask card's
Yeah,
up. The card's off. The referee has noticed it. There we go.
It's completely off at this point.
Cheetah looking for the blade, and Lafort gets in there.
Yep.
Oh, almost hit him, but then he got him in the shoulder.
And now they just run him down and hit him.
Attack all the way. Lafort looking strong.
Yep. And he just finishes it off. Now this is because of the strength of the French team and how well they're all fencing right now, it makes it a little more difficult for the Japanese team. Basically, they have three fencers that they're confident with. You can see Lafort coming in, just taking the starting attack. Cheetah stops, and he just closes it and lands it, drills it. Cheetah doesn't even can't get anything on him.
So now we call it the last rotation. That is to say, everybody has their last bout. Everybody has one more bout to go. So last rotation, and there's a 7-point gap the French have opened up. And I think this is a real key right here to see if the young fella can hold his own or close the gap against a real strong Jérémy Cadot.
This is when they, you look at this. This is sort of the pre-setup. The next guy is the one who's your setup guy, and then you got your closer. Now, this is really critical for where they are to see if you can set your setup guy to be able to move forward. Wow.
There was an attack there. It was parried by Cadot. His repose missed, and Matsuyama put on the off-target light to stop the action. Ooh, over the top, but just barely missed the target. But Cadot never stopped. He's awarded the touch.
Yeah, Cadot was pressing him. He just, it was right on his arm. I could
see that too, yeah.
It was right on his arm. Yeah, direct attack.
Yep, down to 6. Down to a 6-point lead.
The Japanese have a little bit of a fan club in here.
The repose was off target, so no touches awarded. So the maximum bend is 1 centimeter. They straighten their blade.
See their coach Oleg leaning over there.
Yeah,
hoping that his team can pull this out.
The French are turning around to look at the Japanese rooting system a little bit indignant.
Like, how did we get to be, not the hometown favorites?
Ooh, Matsuyama coming back.
But, I think a big part of that is this crowd got a chance to watch this team fence the U.S. team and make them feel very good.
So the referee himself wants to look at the video without a challenge. And he consults with his friend. Gives it to the Frenchman.
As they have done on the numerous. They're like, he already looked.
Doing that multiple take thing. Marching him down. And he puts it on. It was awesome. Wow, look at that footwork, too.
He said, I smell an opportunity, and I'm not going to let this one get away.
That was exciting.
And they can't afford it either.
Parry repose. Oh.
Wow.
He wants the replay. I agree with that,
yeah.
Matsuyama.
I thought he just popped.
Yep, a lot like Miles.
Yeah.
Previously.
Okay, they're just steadily giving it to the French of the affair. They're just not taking it strong enough, and they're taking it going back. I think that's the other part of it.
He gives the attack all the way. Says he never stopped.
Well, he said he wanted to get the line. They're not giving it to him.
You gotta go. You gotta adapt to the referee, and he's just trying to argue stubbornly.
Yeah.
Looks like he slipped a little bit and hurt his knee, maybe.
Oh wow, they're gonna put in their real baby. One I don't think we've seen him at all. Oh yeah, that's not true. He fenced very well actually earlier against the U.S. team.
Okay, Suguru Awaji.
But you know, it's just so interesting. With a different referee, these calls could have gone very differently. Could have been a very different match. You know, it's so interesting. I mean, that you have that subjectivity. It's open to the rules or the interpretation. It's, you know, as you said, sometimes they said, okay, it was both prise de fers. If you're making the prise de fer attacking, the rule says that's who gets it. And they were very consistent in that. So now both teams have made a substitution.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen either one of these gentlemen.
Simon and Awaji.
And Awaji. Simone, Vincent Simone, righty, 25 years old. World rank is 35. He was a 2014 Senior World Team Champion. Was placed 27th here today.
By the way, I think you have the wrong information. He looks left-handed to me.
It looks very left-handed to me. Maybe he's ambidextrous.
Ambi, oh! It looked like simultaneous, but the Japanese missed.
Yep. Got to put your point on. Yep.
Same thing.
He's moving a little bit too fast.
It's a dance. You have to adapt to the other person's speed.
Yep.
Off target repo. The French coach standing up and urging him on.
Yeah, don't do that, please. Don't let these guys in. We got
There's
a nice
Mr. Ota.
lead.
Urging on.
Yeah, we don't want him to have a. I mean, we've seen him come back. They don't want any opportunities here.
Couldn't quite reach him.
Nope.
Frenchman got out of the way.
Yep. Nice distance stop thrust.
Referee says that was after the halt. He's not going to give it.
Nope.
Parry repos. Simon looks pretty hot right now.
You know, Awaji's not looking bad, but he just can't get enough momentum. He pulls off a touch, but he needs to pull off 2 or 3 at a row.
He sure does. He sure does. He's got to. He's got to try to close that gap before they get to 40.
Yep. He needs to run about 4 touches right now.
Ooh. Oh, he got lucky. He hurt himself again a little bit, maybe.
No.
He stumbled anyway, but he hit off target. He got lucky because he had no defense right there. Simultaneous actions, the referee can't decide.
I don't think there was enough time to decide on.
He tried that same thing again, but the Frenchman was not having anything of it. He's checking to see if it was his bib malfunction.
Yeah, he knew it was coming. He's like, oh, no. Just didn't get his point on. Oh. Nicely done.
As you said, a stop thrust. Stopped him in his tracks. And now, can Mr. Oda make up a 9-point deficit?
Here we see that last stop thrust. He's rolling away. Well, now we can see if we are. So we're going to 45. We're in that
Yes, sir.
final round for the gold medal here in San Jose.
So, LaFour in the anchor spot. A little bit of a surprise to me. He's only got a score of 5.
Well, he's
been good.
He's been
no
good.
doubt.
Well, and he's had better results recently.
So the Japanese want video replay.
Well, Oda can't afford to allow any touches not to go his way. Now, for him to win, he's going to have to beat LaFour 14-4.
That's right. That's a lot of touches.
That's a lot of touches. Now, we saw him in the World Championships just this summer beat a lot of people 14-4. So it's not out of, it's not out of his capability.
That's true. Up, he gave it to Oda.
Right, exactly. And he needed that. That's exactly, as we call it, the Yuki Oda scoring machine.
Taking him to school.
As much as he can.
Couldn't quite get the parry on there.
Yeah, but LaFour's, hey, he's a world championship medalist as well.
Sure. LaFour trying desperately to reach him, just off target. Oda's so fast on his feet.
Got the repost.
Nice parry repost by LaFour.
Oda's like, okay, I can't do that. I got to change up on this one.
Off target repost.
Yep.
Parry repost by LaFour over the top in that preen position.
Yep. Nicely done. Well, this is becoming statistically a bout that, well, Oda's not going to go down without giving up a fight.
He's tough, and he's proud.
So now he's got the score. Oh, and I was wrong before. He's got a score. Well, wow. Yeah, this one is a very tough road to hoe.
Attack still good.
But he can't
LaFour tried that distance thing, but it didn't work out this time.
But he can't exchange touches.
No,
it's
got to just make a run.
He's got it.
There's first one.
Yeah.
Only 2 minutes and 3 seconds left to score all those
touches. We know
touches.
how fast he can score. Time is not really. Time is not the issue with
Closed him
Yuki
out
Oda.
with that opposition thrust we talked about earlier.
No, time is not the issue. It's just that there's no margin.
No
for
mistakes. No mistakes.
Not a margin for any mistakes. Just one, and it's over.
Oh, and there's the mistake.
And that was the mistake. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our gold medal team winner for San Jose. The French team comes out on top. Silver medalist this year will be the Japanese team led by Yuki Oda, as the bronze medalist will be the team from U.S. Peter, thoughts on the bouts today?
Yeah, well, I thought that the U.S. Just pulled away and it was way out of reach. And I thought the French team kind of did the same thing toward the end there. Lefort turned out to be strong, and he was the dominant fencer of that match. I thought Yuki Oda, he was disappointed in his second bout, and I think that's kind of what turned the tide for me. The French team showing just patience and superior skill today.
Yeah, I think, once you get in that really deep hole, there's only so much that you can do. And these guys, without Yuki Oda getting that run, I think that was one of the few. And he could not have afforded to have lost that encounter. And the team just, I think, give it credit. That was the 8th-seeded team coming in. They took the silver medal, and they fenced very, very well.
Yeah, and I think that that substitution segment there, the Japanese were hoping that their substitute could really make a run, and it just didn't work out.
Yep. So we're going to be coming up on the medal ceremony, and I would like to once again thank everyone for joining us. Also want to, for any support we can get for U.S. fencing, we'd like to, continue to have not only the supporters from our fans, but the support from our team. Feel free to text fencing to 41444, and what you do is you go into your text message, you put 41444 in, type fencing as in the text box, and then you hit send, and that'll take you to a hyperlink. Donate whatever you can. All donations are very accepted. As I said, from $1 to $1 million, we take them all. So we're going to be signing off. We'll be able to keep watching the medal ceremony as the French team receives their gold, the Japanese gets their silver, and the U.S. team will be taking the bronze. So for tonight, I want to sign off for Peter Bouchard. Thanks for joining me. And this is Don Anthony, live from San Jose Convention Center. Everyone have a very good night.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
All members of the medal recipient teams, United States, France, Japan, please proceed to the call room to assemble to receive the medals. All members of the medaling teams, please go to the call room.
Actually, wow, look at this.
You guys going? Oh, you guys going out? You found it, Jeremy, right at the end of the day. I know you did. It was amazing. I was like, oh, where am I doing? Of course, day one I was just like, and then you were like, you know, I need to calm down a little bit. Yeah, just get this done. There it is. Thanks a lot. Thanks for playing.
I was like, let's wait till I get the hardest team to play.
Right.
Japanese team, please proceed to the call room for the award ceremony. The proceeds de chambre d'appel pour la cérémonie, la remise des médailles.
technological. The other one's a little closer. Not either with the same range, right? So, but when I was coming back to San Francisco, there's a midnight flight.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the medals ceremony for the 2015 San Jose Men's Football World Cup Team event.
Eat well, you eat well.
Please welcome tonight's presenters, Mr. Don Anthony, member of the FIE Executive Committee, and Ms. Rita Gomez, member of the FIE Veterans Council.
I'm bringing a chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm hand for our bronze medal recipients, the United States of America. Representing the United States, team members Alexander Macias, Grace Imogen, Miles Tony Washington, and David Willett. And now please welcome our silver medalist, the team from Japan, Matsuyama Yosuke, Shida Kenta, Ota Yuki, Awagi Suguru. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our gold medalist 2015 San Jose Team Men's Foil from France, Jenny Gadot, Enzo Lefort, Erwan Lepechou, Vincent Simon.
I don't know, he's so good.
You want me to break down too?
take that away from him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of La Marseillaise. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to the 2015 Men's World Cup in San Jose. We'll see you next year, and hopefully we'll see you in 6 weeks' time in Boston for the Grand Prix Sabre. Thank you, good night, and good luck.